Have you ever wondered why, even though you show up consistently and complete all your good workouts, you still cannot see much of the improvements? Well, it might not be enough, and I will explain why in this video. Let's start with how you actually start your workout, and so warm-ups versus glute activation. You might have heard over and over again that the reason why your glutes are not growing and why you cannot feel them in the movement is because you are not doing glute activation exercises. Also, that you are seated most of the time during the day, for example, if you have a sedentary job, and that's why your glutes are getting flatter and you just cannot feel them once you start training. And this is simply not truth. Just because you will do certain exercises to feel the burn in your glutes, it will not ensure that you will feel them within the other movements. The reason why you can't feel your glutes in, for example, hip thrusts or RDLs is simply because you are not doing them correctly. I am regularly sharing the exercise form of many movements, not only for the lower body but also for the upper body and abs on my channel, so make sure to subscribe to learn more. So what you should be doing instead, I recommend a variety of dynamic movements and the mobility drills. It really depends on the individual and on your own needs. Personally, I always make sure that I do a variety of dynamic movements, and so I always warm up my spine, my lower back, do some rotations. Also, I warm up my hips and making sure that I engage my core in the movements as well. Then, depending on what kind of exercises you will be doing within your glute session, you might need to do a little bit more specific warm up as well. So in this case, I will be doing Romanian deadlifts, also some Bulgarian split squats and the glute builder machine, so some hip thrusting movements. So that's why I like to normally do a little bit more for my hip flexors, as usually they are just getting too tight after sitting for a long time every day. Now moving on to the next important part, which is exercise selection and also the execution. Many people are too focused on the exercise selection, spending all their time just finding a magic exercise, which exercise is the best for a certain area or the glutes, and they just forget to learn how to actually do that execution of those certain movements. And instead of focusing on mastering these movements such as squats, unilateral work like split squats, lunges, also hip thrust, hip hinging movement. Instead of that, they just want to find a hack tip that will get them to feel the movements, and that is just not how does it work. The reason why you can't feel them, again, is not because of glute activation. It's not about you haven't found something special that you oftentimes get claimed on social media. No, it is only because you do those movements incorrectly. If you position yourself incorrectly, if your feet, your legs, your upper body is in the incorrect position, also if you're not engaging your core, instead of feeling your glutes and engaging them in the movements, you might be feeling your quads, your lower back, hamstrings instead. And this is why it's so crucial to master the basics. And no, the basics are not only for the beginners. Every single athlete, every single competitor that has built a great physique and has competed on the higher level is repeatedly doing these kind of movements, which is the only way how to build a great physique, not by finding a magic trick, magic solution to the fact that your training and your exercise form just suck. You need to learn how to do these things correctly, as well as how to program your training and nutrition according to your own body's needs, and after that you will get great results. And that is how we are getting to the next topic, which is Instagram or TikTok exercises. What you need to understand that many creators out there are not certified, do not have experience of coaching different types of people. They do not have the understanding of the biomechanics and how the human body works actually in order to engage certain muscles. But they will be showing you in their videos a special exercise variation that have helped them to grow their glutes 2 or 3 times, like for example this one. And this is not my form, okay? I am just showing you what I can see on a daily basis. Girls are literally spending so much time setting up this machine. I mean, there is nothing wrong with the Smith machine, however, it does not have that natural pathway and the bar is not traveling with your body. Same on the good mornings. You see, this is how girls are performing this movement. The bar is in the incorrect position. They are not hip hinging, so they are not driving the hips back properly. And even if I have tried here to do the correct position as if I have used the barbell, still, yes, I do feel the glutes a bit, but the back is hitting just too much. And if you load more, you just get so much pain in your lower back. I would say it is absolutely pointless to do these exercises. Maybe not pointless, but it's just such a waste of time, and definitely it's much better to learn on the free weights and still stick to the free weights over the years. And that's why, especially when you are struggling to see the results, do not experiment with these Instagram or TikTok exercises, because there are honestly no magic. They are just for the clout and people who have the right knowledge and great knowledge will never prescribe such exercises for their clients. And for example, this kind of machine is absolute waste of time as well. Most of the girls do that. I never do it, to be honest, because all I can feel here is hip flexors, because you are in the isometric contraction basically at the bottom. You can try squatting down, but again, it has no effects on your glutes. The better thing you can do is basically sit down and perform like a seated abduction instead. But the standing variation is, to me, absolutely pointless and just a waste of time. So if you have that in your machine, you can adapt it this way and you will get more of your glutes. And instead we can lean back and lean forward also to change it over a little bit and get the muscles to work from different angles. A very common question is also whether to do the cardio before or after your training sessions, and it will really depend on the individual and on your goals. And so if your goal is to build muscle and your glutes especially, I definitely recommend to do your cardio if you want to do it after the workout, or even better on a separate day. If you would do the cardio before your workouts, before your training sessions. And lastly, the nutrition. If you want to grow your muscle and a great physique, you need to get out of the calorie deficit and learn how to fuel your body. If you'll be scared of putting on a little bit of body fat and trying to build muscle and lose fat at the same time, I might have very bad news for you. Unless you have great genetics, the main reason why you are not seeing proper results might be exactly because you're trying to build muscle and lose fat at the same time. If it was so simple, why would then all the professionals, all the athletes would spend so much time in the building phases, putting on a lot of body fat, and after that we have to spend a couple of weeks or months in a calorie deficit in order to lose that body fat? If it was that simple, every single person in the gym then would just have muscle and be lean. That's why it's so important to spend enough time in a calorie surplus. You do not have to do heavy bulking as certain individuals, for example, hard gainers, that's me, but staying in a calorie surplus for a prolonged period of time and devoting those months to grow and to build your strength is crucial for you to build a nice physique. So guys, that is all from my side for today. My biggest advice for you to please stop following the trends of social media and instead learn what truly works. And learn that from the professionals and people who really know what they are talking about. Please leave a comment if you have any questions, and other than that, I will see you in the next video. Bye!